Welcome everyone, all the panelists. First of all, a very happy World Photography Day to all of you. I can see Mr. Dinesh Khanna, Shivang Mehta, and others are joining in. So it's a pleasure talking in front of all of you, all the eminent photographers. And I really take this as an honor and pleasure. I am moderating an event for the first time in my life. That too, I never thought I'd be doing it online. So a new experience for me too. So hopefully I can apply for a few more jobs after this to moderate an event. Any which ways. So as I said, happy World Photography Day to all of you, to all the joinees. And we are organizing this particular event on two major occasions. सबसे पहले तो जो हमने इंटरनेशनल फोटोग्राफी ग्रांट अनाउंस किया था कुछ टाइम पहले, उसके फाइनलिस्ट हम यहाँ पे अनाउंस करेंगे. Along with that, we also conducted a national level photography contest on the occasion of World Photography Day, जिसके winners हम यहाँ पे अनाउंस करेंगे. और जितने भी हमारे eminent photographers पैनलिस्ट हैं, उन्होंने इस कॉन्टेस्ट को जज किया और अपने अपने ओपिनियंस, रिव्यूज और एनालिसिस रखे. और काफ़ी पैरामीटर्स के बाद वी एक्चुअली शॉर्टलिस्टेड दीज फोटोग्राफर्स, जो हम इस सेशन के एंड में अनाउंस करेंगे, एंड अलॉन्ग विद द प्राइजेस एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स. बट यहाँ पे मेरा रोल जो है, दैट इज टू नॉट एग्जैक्टली मॉडरेट द इवेंट, बट टू help you understand first what is THC, what's the idea of THC, and why we brought up these contests and grants for the community. And हम जितने भी पैनलिस्ट हैं अभी यहाँ पे, जितने भी prominent photographers यहाँ पे हमको ज्वाइन करे हुए हैं, हम लोग ये साथ में THC के साथ में क्यों आए, इसका आइडिया हम यहाँ पे शेयर करेंगे. Along with that, of course, we will share a lot of information on other areas also. But the house of camera evolution, basically अगर बहुत ही लेमन्स लैंग्वेज में बात की जाए तो इट्स जस्ट अ मोबाइल ऐप. सो जो कि आप अपने मोबाइल फोन पर डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. बट द कॉन्सेप्ट इज वेरी यूनिक एंड कॉन्सेप्ट इज वेरी मच फोकस्ड टुवर्ड्स द नीश, एंड द नीश इज फोटोग्राफी कम्युनिटी. The application is specifically designed and developed considering the need and necessities as well as requirements of photography enthusiasts, hobbyists, serious hobbyists, and even professionals. So TSC का अगर मैं इवोल्यूशन बोलूं आपको, तो आप ये कह सकते हैं कि TSC एक वन स्टॉप सोल्यूशन है आपके मोबाइल फोन के अंदर, जिसमें एज अ फोटोग्राफर आपको बहुत कुछ देखने को मिलेगा, बहुत फायदे मिलेंगे, और आपकी शायद काफ़ी रिक्वायरमेंट्स भी पूरी हो जाए THC एज अ मोबाइल ऐप के थ्रू ही, और आपको इधर उधर भटकना ना पड़े, आपको इधर उधर रोम ना करना पड़े, आपको इंटरनेट खंगालना ना पड़े. आपको एक ही एप्लीकेशन में आपकी सारी जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, फोटोग्राफी रिलेटेड जो इश्यूज हैं, जो नीड्स हैं, जो रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं, उसका आपको सोल्यूशन मिल जाए. एंड ऑफ कोर्स बिफोर आई स्टार्ट, अ बिग थैंक्स टू ऑल आवर स्पॉन्सर्स जिन्होंने ये कॉन्टेस्ट को स्पॉन्सर किया, जिसमें निकॉन कैमरा बैंड, म्यूजियो कैमरा जो कि म्यूजियम है, देन चीज फोटोग्राफी मैगजीन, वैनगार्ड जो कि स्टेबलाइजिंग इक्विपमेंट बनाते हैं, ट्राइपॉड्स, मोनोपॉड्स, इवन बैग्स, एंड देन गोडॉक्स को मैं बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ, थैंक यू बोलता हूँ टू स्पॉन्सर दिस इवेंट. एंड काफ़ी प्राइजेस जो आप आने वाले कॉन्टेस्ट में, ये जो कॉन्टेस्ट में हम अनाउंस करेंगे, वो हमारे स्पॉन्सर्स की तरफ से हैं. सो बिग राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज एंड बिग थैंक यू टू ऑल ऑफ देम. नाउ आवर मेंटर्स, जो कि हमारे पैनलिस्ट हैं इन पर्टिकुलर कॉन्टेस्ट में, जो कि ग्रांट भी था और उसके साथ साथ एक फोटोग्राफी कॉन्टेस्ट भी था वर्ल्ड फोटोग्राफी डे पे. जो हमारे एमिनेंट पैनलिस्ट हैं, उनमें मिस्टर दिनेश खन्ना, जो कि प्रोफेशनल फोटोग्राफर हैं, वेल एस्टैब्लिश्ड, रिनॉन्ड in the community. Then we have Shahid Hashmi ji, commercial photographer. We have Raja Jain, who's into big time wedding photography. Then we have Aditya Arya, travel photographer. We have Mr. Ravi Dingra, who's into monochrome photography, और normally जो लोग बोलते हैं black and white photography. Shivang Mehta, wildlife photographer, and of course me, Abhishek Singh, aviation and travel photographer. And these photographers, मुझको छोड़ के, जो बाकी मैंने नाम लिए, इन लोगों को कोई बहुत डिटेल्ड इंट्रोडक्शन की जरूरत नहीं है, आप गूगल करेंगे you'll get a lot of information about them. So if you somehow don't know about them, probably it's your mistake, it's not their mistake. So you Google about them, you will get to know about them. Okay, so एंड एज आई सेड, ये जो पिक्चर आप देख रहे हैं, पैशन लेड अस हियर, इसका मतलब ये हम सभी लोग इस प्लेटफॉर्म में, टीएचसी के प्लेटफॉर्म पे, इस इवेंट पे सिर्फ अपने पैशन की वजह से हैं। आज जितने भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स इस इवेंट को ऑनलाइन ज्वाइन कर पा रहे हैं, इट इज शेयर बिकॉज ऑफ पैशन, और कोई भी रीजन नहीं है जिसकी वजह से आप लोग इस इवेंट पे आए हैं। सो अ बिग बिग थैंक यू टू ऑल ऑफ यू, ऑल द पीपल हु आर ज्वाइनिंग इन, अभी जो जुड़ चुके हैं और आगे भी जो जुड़ेंगे उनको भी बिग थैंक यू। आगे बढ़ते हैं। टॉकिंग अबाउट द प्राइजेस, जैसे कि मैंने बोला था, वर्ल्ड फोटोग्राफी डे पे जो कॉन्टेस्ट है उसके प्राइजेस आर स्पॉन्सर्ड बाय निकॉन। सो वी आर गिविंग अवे निकॉन Z50 मिररलेस कैमरा टू द विनर। सेकंड प्राइज वुड बी वैनगार्ड कैमरा बैग, एंड थर्ड वुड बी गोडॉग ZP1 स्मार्टफोन गिम्बल। एंड अगेन, एज आई वाज टेलिंग, मुझे बोला गया है, आई वॉज नॉट वेरी कीन ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक, बट I was told to introduce myself. Probably not many people know about me, so that's the reason they have asked me to introduce myself. So I am Abhishek. I am basically an aviation and travel photographer, one of the panelists who was into judging the grant as well as the contest. I am also an aviation DOP, that is director of photography. So I make a lot of films, videos, and aviation content, both videos and pictures. So I've been into photography industry from last 14 years. I've conducted more than 350 workshops for brands like Nikon, Panasonic. I've conducted 36 photography expedition and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to brag about myself. The only thing that I want to highlight here is, which is a matter of pride for all of us, that my aviation channel is Asia's #1 and come under world's top 40 aviation YouTube channel in the world, which is a matter of pride from a country which is not so aviation photography friendly country. There are a lot of restrictions. Creating such a channel was a big task, and I never expected that this will become so big. So right now I'm working with a lot of air forces across the globe along with civil aviation bodies. So I'm just living my passion. As I said in the previous slide, we are all here because of our passion. So that's what I do for my living. And at times I moderate events like these and do photography workshops during my spare time. I've been also associated in the past with Nikon. I worked with them as a full-time employee for good 6 years as a technical head and product head. So I am pretty well versed when it comes to technicalities of a product. And that said, I don't want to brag more about myself. So move forward. My association with the THC, I know the key people involved in TSC from a very, very long time. It's been years, and we've been wanting something to do, together in terms of photography education and spreading the knowledge of photography. And that's how मेरा association हुआ THC के साथ, because as I have conducted so many workshops, so many events, sharing my knowledge and also gaining a lot of knowledge through these events. So I thought, okay, fine, I'm pursuing my aviation dream of photographing these birds. What about my experience of teaching people? That I don't wanted to, flush that out and drain. So I thought, why not get associated with THC and continue exploiting that experience of mine, जो मैंने इतने सालों में gain किया है, of teaching people photography. So that's how this association happened. And I think by now, जब से THC launch हुआ है और अभी तक, they are doing a pretty fabulous job. The team is really active, and a big thank you to them for involving me in their projects, which is again a matter of pride for me. Moving forward, further, I'll talk about THC Mobile App a bit. So it's a very light app. Light से मेरा मतलब है बहुत heavy app नहीं है, बहुत time नहीं लेगी download होने में. It is both for Android as well as iOS. So you can download this app. As I told you, this is a one-stop solution for all your photography needs, be it anything related to photography competition or contest, or sharing or gaining knowledge in terms of reading blogs, reviews, product reviews, detailed analysis of the experts are also put forward in this app through the help of blogs. And then we also have, of course, products on sale, brand new products. You can order them. They will be delivered right at your doorstep. And system is pretty simple for other online platforms. That's how easy it is. Along with that, you as a photographer, if you feel your work is good, अगर आपको लगता है आपके work को और exposure मिलना चाहिए और बड़ा market मिलना चाहिए, so we have also started this service which is within the app of you getting listed in our directory as a photographer. And as a photographer, if you are searching for a good makeup artist or a stylist for your next upcoming shoot, then we have also listed a lot of vendors in our directory, so you can choose from. You can see their portfolio. You can even interact with them if required, and you can shortlist the vendors for your upcoming shoot. Along with that, we are also adding multiple dimensions to the app. We are adding a lot of products in terms of accessories, not just accessories. छोटा छोटा सामान होता है जिसको कभी कभी हमको मिलने में बहुत बड़ी दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ता है, हालांकि बहुत छोटे छोटे एक्सेसरीज होते हैं जो नॉर्मली इंडिया में या तो थर्ड पार्टी के थ्रू प्रोक्योर होते हैं और इतना इजीली अवेलेबल नहीं होते हैं, एंड वन हैज टू गो थ्रू लॉट ऑफ टैक्स इश्यूज आल्सो. सो ये प्लेटफॉर्म उन एक्सेसरीज को भी ऐड करता जाएगा, नॉट जस्ट कैमराज एंड लेंसेज और कैमरा बैग्स और ट्राइपॉड जो कि मोटे एक्सेसरीज और मोटे इक्विपमेंट है कैमरा फोटोग्राफी के, बट इवन स्मॉल एक्सेसरीज लाइक लेंस होड, स्ट्रैप्स, then cables and cords and these kind of stuff also. Along with that, we are also coming up with buy, sell and rent thing, wherein if you want to buy used equipment, you can do that. That used equipment जो भी इस पे app पे रहेगा, that equipment will be well tested, analyzed by the team of expert in THC and then uploaded onto the app for sale. You can also sell your equipment if you want to. You don't have to put it on various multiple platforms like there are online. You can just put it on this app, click some pictures, upload the pictures, and then our team will get back to you. They will just test the equipment and they'll publish it. You can also rent the equipment. It's not just about cameras and lenses. You can rent so many other things that you'll be able to rent, like microphones, tripods, gimbals, filters. These are some stuff which are very well required in a lot of shoots, but itna readily available nahi hota rent pe. You can also rent these kind of equipments, and along with that, we will also, if your work is really good, we will also feature you in our app so that you get adequate exposure as well. So these are some other multiple dimensions that we are going to add pretty soon in our app. And I'm pretty sure this will be one of a kind photography related app that has been ever launched in our country. And people like me and other photographers have got, it's on our fingertips. Soon we will be launching the video part of the app, wherein we will be uploading a lot of video tutorials inside the app, so that wherever you are, you can access this tutorial and you can enhance your knowledge in terms of photography. Then YouTube channel, we have recently, you can say, launched THC YouTube channel. YouTube आज के समय की एक बहुत important requirement बन चुकी है. You can say it's a platform where a lot of people, if they know the right term, the right thing to search, they can really get good amount of knowledge from YouTube. और इसी चीज को ध्यान में रखते हुए हमने अपना YouTube channel launch किया है. ये उसका एक what you are seeing is just a screenshot of the channel page. Along with that, इस channel में हम सिर्फ बाकी चीजों के बारे में बात नहीं करेंगे कि how what kind of photography techniques one has to use. टेक्निक्स के बारे में बात नहीं होगी, टिप्स के बारे में बात नहीं होगी, मेरे मतलब इनके बारे में भी बात होगी, बट सिर्फ इनके बारे में बात ना करते हुए हम और भी ऐसे क्वेश्चंस के जवाब देंगे जिनके बारे में बहुत कम वीडियोस आपको YouTube में देखने को मिलते हैं, लाइक व्हाट इज ट्रैवल फोटोग्राफी, जॉब ऑफ अ ट्रैवल फोटोग्राफर, हाउ टू बिकम अ ट्रैवल फोटोग्राफर, हाउ टू बिल्ड अ पोर्टफोलियो, हाउ टू क्रिएट योर ओन नीश, how to market yourself, how to pitch yourself, how to present yourself in front of a client, and some unique topics that we will be discussing again during the course of this event also, that what a photographer should do during lockdown. So these are some बहुत ही अनोखे टॉपिक्स हैं जो कि YouTube पे इतना इजीली देखने को नहीं मिलते हैं, इन टॉपिक्स को भी हम अपने चैनल के थ्रू आगे लेकर आएंगे. Along with that, we will be publishing a lot of product reviews, and let me tell you, if you see our video जो कि हमने अभी Fuji X-T4 का एक review video किया है, that's a pretty unbiased review. None of our review videos will be sponsored. That's a pledge we have taken in THC कि कोई भी video sponsored नहीं होगा, कोई भी video paid नहीं होगा, in the sense कि no brand can force us to review their product unless and until we feel like reviewing the product. So that's what we've been doing in THC from past couple of months. We've been reviewing a lot of products. First video that we released was X-T4. Coming videos will be on various action cameras, then even Canon R5, Sony A7S III. आप इन सभी के absolutely unbiased reviews देखेंगे, so that as a user, as a buyer, people can make some sensible decision of buying a camera rather than following their you call जो इंडिया में बोलते हैं कि आप अगर देखेंगे बहुत सारे इंडियन रिव्यूज जो यूट्यूब पे आजकल चल रहे हैं, ऐसा लगता है they are all paid, but that won't be the case in case of THC YouTube channel. All the videos will be unbiased, and जब आप फूजी का ये वीडियो देखेंगे तो probably आपको रियलाइज हो जाएगा हम किस तरीके के रिव्यूज की बात कर रहे हैं. इससे भी एक्सटेंसिव रिव्यूज होंगे, and hopefully you would be able to take wise decision. Now this is where we land up now, जिसके लिए ये इवेंट हो रहा है. बट इसके पहले मैं फोटोग्राफी ग्रैंड डिस्कशन पे आऊँ. आई वुड लाइक टू कॉल इन ऑल आवर पैनलिस्ट टू just share their views on photography as an art, and then gradually we will direct that discussion towards photography grant जो हमने announce किया था. तो पहले हम बात करेंगे फोटोग्राफी एज एन आर्ट के बारे में. हमारे जितने भी पैनलिस्ट हैं ऑन बोर्ड, एस्टीम्ड पैनलिस्ट, वो क्या सोचते हैं फोटोग्राफी एज एन आर्ट के बारे में, उनकी क्या राय है, और वो क्या सजेशंस देना चाहेंगे जितने भी हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स अभी हमको इस इवेंट पे जिन्होंने ज्वाइन किया हुआ उनके लिए. सो एलेक्स, आई एम ओपनिंग द फ्लोर.
Okay, sir. We have now Ravi Dindra sir with us, who is online.
Hi everyone.
Okay, we have panelists, everyone on.
So can we start with the most senior panelist in our panel? I think
Age-wise or experience-wise?
Yeah, most senior is Dinesh ji.
Senior most is Aditya Arya.
Aditya, I think Aditya ji is here. Yeah, Aditya ji is here. Yes.
Dinesh Khanna, let us start with you.
Oh, nahi yaar. Aditya Arya is the most senior, not in terms of years, but in terms of experience, and definitely in terms of what he's done for photography.
No, I insist on certain seniority protocols. So Dinesh ji will start the conversation, and
यार हम लखनऊ में थोड़ा है कि आप पहले कर रहे हैं. हम
अल्फाबेटिकल ऑर्डर पे कर देते हैं. अल्फाबेटिकल ऑर्डर पे कर देते हैं.
चलिए दिनेश जी स्टार्ट करेंगे.
अच्छा चल यार. No, thank you very much for inviting me here. I am absolutely delighted, and I've been hearing about the House of Camera. I really like the name also. It's simple and it's evocative. As far as photography as an art is concerned, I think that is a debatable thing. I've always wondered if it is an art, or is it a medium, or is it a craft, or is it a means of expression, or is it a technological marvel. And the reason I'm saying all this is that I honestly actually don't even care. I don't care if it's an art, or if it's just a craft, or if it's a medium. But photography is photography, and that is something, as far as I'm concerned, is what is vital and what is unique about it, and which is why I love it. Absolutely, I adore it. I've lived my life with photography, and I've lived my life for photography. So ये डिबेट चलती रहेगी कि आर्ट है कि नहीं है, वो जिनको शौक है इस चीज का वो करेंगे, बट मेरे लिए ये है कि फोटोग्राफी की जाती है दिल से, फोटोग्राफी की जाती है जो आंख देखती है, बट जो फोटोग्राफी फाइनली जो इंसान को जो टच करती है, दैट इज व्हाट इज द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग. And I am not of the opinion that photography only has, one particular motive or objective, which is to impress others or to change people's minds or to inform them. Photography first has to be done for the pure and hedonistic pleasure of the photographer. Because unless and until I am able to please myself, unless and until I am able to ensure that I am happy with what I'm doing with photography, then unless that is true, otherwise I should look for another art form or another craft, whether I want to be someone who works with wood, or whether I want to be a dancer, or whether I want to be a singer. The point I'm making is that look at anything which you pick up as a means of pleasing you, of a means of excelling in what you do, because only then will you be able to get other people to respond in the same way. Any craft, any art, any medium, at the end of the day, is a mirror of the person who creates it, who creates with it. So if I'm not going to be happy, no one is going to be happy with my work. I know it doesn't sound politically correct in today's world. It's always said कि यार औरों के लिए करो, उसको खुश करो, ये like आने चाहिए वगैरह. मेरे लिए वो सब कुछ मैंने नहीं रखता. पहले अगर मैं खुश हूं अपनी फोटोग्राफी से और अपनी फोटोग्राफ से, तभी मैं किसी दूसरे इंसान को, फॉरगेट अबाउट 100वें इंसान या 1000वें इंसान, दूसरे इंसान को भी इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकूंगा और इम्प्रेस कर सकूंगा. तो ये दैट्स ऑल आई वुड लाइक टू से अबाउट फोटोग्राफी एंड व्हाट हैज बीन माय कनेक्शन विद इट. 30 years as a professional photographer and 50 years today as someone who's had a camera in his hand and is taking pictures. So thank you very much for having me here. I hope I've made a valid and reasonable point, but I like to hear the others and what they want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Dinesh ji. As wisely said, sir. First, you shoot it for yourself. आपको खुशी नहीं मिल रही तो आप एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकते कि दूसरों को आपका काम देखे कोई भी खुशी मिले या उनको मजा आए. So that's why I also believe that photography is widely pursued as a hobby also, because that's what give pleasure to a lot of people, even as a hobby, be it a person who is working in a corporate or a businessman. These days, a lot of people have access to good gears, good cameras and lenses, and all of them want to do some amount of wildlife, some amount of portrait and fashion, just to please themselves, just to keep themselves happy by pursuing this hobby. So Aditya ji, आपका क्या कहना है sir? Now आपका turn आई है sir.
Thank you very much. Firstly, on behalf of Museo Camera, I must say that we are honored to be partnering with the House of Camera. Museo Camera is all about the history of photography, the camera which is the tool which creates the images, and the Museo Camera traces the history of that the tool, the camera. It's a very special collaboration which we have entered into with the House of Camera. There'll be regular workshops. House of Camera has, THC has sponsored an exhibition just now here called the Lockdown Diaries. I would like to invite all your participants to come and visit us in Gurgaon and have a cup of coffee with us whenever they can. We have very strict protocols, so everything is very safe and sound to be visiting here. And see, for me, photography has always been hobby. Profession, I would call it professional hobby. The money comes, there is a financial aspect to it. You get paid for doing something, but it's very important, like Dinesh ji said, I have to be satisfied when I take up an assignment or a job. I do not stop shooting or working on it till I am satisfied. My satisfaction is more important than client satisfaction. I have to be satisfied. My clients always came back to me and said, यार अब बहुत हो गया, ये बहुत बढ़िया हो गया. I said नहीं, अभी नहीं हुआ, इसमें थोड़ा सा I can still tweak it, I can still create something. You know, that personal satisfaction of doing something, of creating something, for me is a form of expression. And some people write, some people sing. I take photographs and I like to share photographs, but that's the force which drives me, is my satisfaction, which is of utmost importance to me. It's not how much you're getting paid for it. No, that is secondary. It is, are you satisfied with what you are doing? So, like he said, all of us are artists, but who are you trying to satisfy? The audience? No. In my case, I'm trying to satisfy myself. I am my own critic. So I would like to leave it like that. Are you happy with your photograph? Are you trying to just console yourself saying, nahi, nahi, bahut badhiya hai. I'm trying to give excuses to yourself. No, you have to be satisfied. You have to be convinced I have created a really nice picture. But like a true artist, you also know I could have done better. So every artist strives for creating an ultimate image. So thank you very much for bringing me on and involving the Museo camera. We are really honored to be part of THC.
Thank you very much, Aditya ji. That was really, insightful. And I personally never visited your place, which is my bad. And after hearing you, I will definitely make sure that I land up at your place, and would love to see your collection, sir, and your passion towards these unique, innovative, technology. So thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing
And
you.
THC is equally delighted to have you on board, sir.
Thank you.
So Ravi ji, now to you, sir.
Thank you so
Your
much.
idea about photography as an art, sir.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank you all for having me here, House of Camera and Cheese Magazine. Dinesh ji and Aditya ji have already expressed their opinion and their views. So I quite agree with them, and I would like to put my point of view out here. Photography for me is passion. Photography for me is a way of expressing myself, means of expression, you can say. And most importantly, photography for me is meditation. When I'm doing photography, I forget about everything else. So that is very, very important, that when you are you come across many situations. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're not too happy, sometimes you are disgusted with things around. But when I pick up my camera and start clicking, I forget all the worries, forget about all the worries in the world. And my focus is on the subject which I'm trying to click. Photography, again, I do it for two purposes. One is for commercial purposes, which earns my bread and some butter at this time. And then the other thing is my personal expression. So that is unguided photography. Commercial assignments are guided. They're guided by the client. But as far as my personal work is concerned, that is totally unguided. And I do what I want to do. I click pictures, the subjects which are close to my heart, the topics which I really love. So these are a few things which are unguided, and that gives me more satisfaction than anything else. And then that personal work sometimes may get into some kind of art form also. I've done a couple of exhibitions, had my solo show also. So maybe people have appreciated those artworks. They have been able to relate to what I'm trying to create and what I'm trying to express through my photographs. So that becomes a way of communication between me and the viewer also. So I think it is an art too, in my opinion.
Nice, sir. I've seen your work and really delighted. I am recently very much fascinated by monochrome photography personally from a couple of months. So especially after trying my hand on various mirrorless camera, the joy of doing monochrome photography is simply superb, because you can see now you can at least see the world in black and white through those electronic viewfinders, which is really nice. And I believe जो भी हमारे पैनलिस्ट ने अभी फोटोग्राफी एज एन आर्ट फॉर्म हमसे शेयर किया है, आई थिंक जितने भी हमको ज्वाइनीज है पार्टिसिपेंट्स, दे मस्ट हैव लर्न समथिंग और द अदर फ्रॉम दीज एक्सपीरियंस फोटोग्राफर्स. एंड इसी बात को हम आगे ले जाते हुए वी विल again invite Shahid ji to talk on the topic photography as an art. How does he perceive, photography?
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I would like to say hi to everybody. I'm pretty new here. I'm sure not many of you have even heard my name before. I worked in Delhi after passing out, and then in 1994, I had gone to Dubai, and I have worked there as a banker for around 25 years. And I started photography when I was in college with a borrowed camera. These were the black and white film days, and the passion continued. And my, this stint in Dubai allowed me to continue my passion and grow it. So I traveled around the world, and I have done a lot of photography workshops and tours, but I got attracted to the cultures around the world and how these cultures have been vanishing, and now I'm focusing mostly in that area. So that's what I've been doing. So I've been traveling to the remotest places, and the joy of the reconnecting with the roots has been enormous, and which brings to this issues that how you can use photography as an expression or as an extension of your inner feelings, and bring them out as something unique, which other people won't see otherwise or notice otherwise, but you are able to put that across to them. That is what fascinates me, that you have that kind of power in your hand. And compared to other art mediums, besides being something which enables you to use this and express your feelings as an art, the kind of power that photography has is so unique to itself. So you can use that and as highlight an issue and address that issue like no other art form can do that, in my opinion. So yes, it's the kind of feelings that you get and how you are able to express those feelings and make people kind of share your emotions and connect with certain things. So yeah, that is what fascinates me. Thanks.
Thank you, Shahid ji. After working as a banker, coming to photography, and of course, you've been pursuing photography even during, I think, when you were working in Dubai, and prior to that also in your college days, as you mentioned. That's what passion is all about, sir. I believe, irrespective whether you are doing it full time or part time, till it is giving you that self satisfaction. I believe that's what the definition of passion is all about. A lot of people confuse hobby and passion, together.
Yeah.
But I think hobby and passion, they are two different things. Hobby से आप bore हो जाएंगे जल्दी, आप कोई और hobby पकड़ लेंगे. But passion is something that you keep on enhancing, learning, reviewing, and growing. So, and you are a fine example, I think, for that, sir. So I will move on to another esteemed guest of ours. Is Mr. Raja Jain there? Because I cannot see him here.
No, sir. Raja Jain sir had a meeting, so he was not able to join.
So who else is there? Shivang ji is there? Shivang?
Yes, Shivang Mehta sir is there.
Because I can't see his face here. Yeah.
No, I'm very much there. And
okay. Hi, Shivang ji. Yeah.
Hi. I'm very much there, and thanks a ton to the entire House of Cameras team for having me here. I mean, first of all, it was a very, very interesting name. So I was totally hooked on it. And I was supposed to go on the website also to study the kind of work you do. So I mean, that was quite encouraging and inspiring. A lot has been already said by so many eminent photographers out here. So all I can do is just add to it. So for me, I guess, I've always believed that, photography has a science element, there's an art element. From a scientific point of view, when it comes to technology, things can be learned. The art element of photography is something which is a never-ending learning process. Uh, but personally for me, photography is a medium of expression, and when I shoot a lot of things in the wild, in nature, wildlife, uh, I always believe there are happy images, there are sad images, and whatever I do, it's a medium of my expression. So, so I guess this is a wonderful platform which which has been introduced, wherein photographers can not only showcase their work, but they can also showcase their concepts and ideas. And in case those ideas are good, you guys are giving a boost to those ideas in the form of grants and all. So, so happy World Photography Day to all of you, and I look forward to the forthcoming event.
Thank you, Shivangji. Thank you very much for that insight. And I, as a photographer, now would like to add photography as an art form, since we have so many participants and joinees in this event. So I believe what I would like to highlight is a couple of things very quickly, though it will take another 2 or 3 minutes, but I'll try to wind it up, wrap it up as soon as possible. My perspective about photography as an art form, बाकी लोगों ने जो भी बोला, I believe that's उस पे कोई क्वेश्चन मार्क नहीं लगा सकता, और सब इस चीज पे एग्री करेंगे that photography is an art form, and most of us pursue photography not just as a mode of earning bread and butter, but more of like passion. And it is very important for all the youngsters who are joining in, और जो भी लोग अभी देख रहे हैं as a photography pursue करना चाहते हैं या कर रहे हैं, उनके लिए मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा that art, any form of art form require you to visualize things. You have to visualize, and with visualization comes ideas and concepts. And people these days, since we are living in digital era, digital photography era, मैंने कई बार देखा, and a lot of our panelists will also agree with me that a lot of people, they click an image, then view the LCD screen, and then decide whether the image is good or bad. That's a very common practice these days. They don't frame the shot in their mind or visualize the shot and tell the camera or force the camera to get what exactly they have purchased that camera for. So itne full frame aa gaya market mein, mirrorless camera aa gaya. You've been putting a lot of money for for totally depending on that small LCD screen of the camera to tell you whether your image is right or wrong. I think time is now that we change our perspective. Number one. Number two, screen dependency should be very less, just to review what you have got in terms of what you wanted. So in relation to that, I think screen of a camera should be referred more often, rather than कि अब अभी खींचा है, चलो खींच के देखते हैं कैसा आता है. So वो dependency से I think हमको बाहर निकलना चाहिए. And one more dependency that everybody is doing photography for these days is likes on Facebook and Instagram. One of the finest example I'll give you is, I had a privilege to work with one of the best aviation photographers in the world, Katsuhiko, from Japan, recently in one of our projects with Indian Air Force. And it's my honor to work with him, and again in a couple of projects in coming months. But one thing that I've learned from that man was, he is so popular among all the OEMs, Airbus, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Dassault Aviation, US Air Force, Japanese Air Force, UAE Air Force. Every Air Force, every OEM wants a piece of that photographer so that he come fly with them. He's the only photographer who's flown with almost 36 Air Forces in the world. He is the only photographer who is not a pilot, but yet flown in all the fighter jets doing aerial air-to-air photography. And every Air Force wants a piece of him. And guess what? He's nowhere on social media. He doesn't exist on social media. So that's the beauty of photography. If your work is good, no matter whether you are present on social media or you are not present on social media, people would love to have a piece of you, piece of your work. So focus more on visualization concept, enhancing your photography skills rather than कौन सा कैमरा खरीदना है, ये कैमरा कितना मेगापिक्सल का है, इसका LCD कितना bright है. You know, these are of course tools that can help you enhance your photography, but they won't make you a good photographer. And the process of being a good photographer, you see all these eminent panelists sitting here, Shivang ji, Ravi ji, Dinesh ji, Aditya ji, ये एक साल में नहीं पहुंचे यहाँ पे या ये 2 साल में नहीं पहुंचे. It's a slow process, it's a learning process, nothing happens overnight. And these days people think अगर मेरे को 2 million likes मिल गए Facebook पे या Instagram पे, that's it, I can start charging bomb from my client. That's what the perception is all about, but that should not be the case. Look at these panelists. They've been here for years, and it definitely, when you go to their websites, you see their work, you only see the work they have put on their website. They have also gone through the process of creating those images. There are bad images, there are good images, and good images are only portrayed on anybody's website. And those good images जो निकल के आती है वो एक लंबे प्रोसेस, लंबे लर्निंग फेज के बाद निकल के आती है. Nothing happens overnight. So I thank all the mentors to जिन्होंने अपना पर्सपेक्टिव रखा एज अ फोटोग्राफी एज एन आर्ट फॉर्म. एंड आई बिलीव जितने भी हमारे जो joinees हैं, guests हैं, they must have learned something out of it. And moving forward, what I'll do is we will take this discussion to THC and Museo Camera International Photography Grant. And Alex, are you there, Alex? Alex, my boy,
Yes, sir.
you listening to me? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
Alex, what we will do is we will directly now jump onto the announcement, right?
Yes, sir. We can
Want
jump
to do
on.
that? And then at last we will announce the contest winner for the World Photography Day. Is that fine?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
Okay. A lot of people must be waiting for this grant. इसी के लिए ये event हो रहा है. So I'll quickly switch on to that particular presentation. Just give me some time. Okay. So here we are. Just a minute. Okay. Is the slide visible?
Yes.
Nice. So I will quickly run through the announcement, which was again announced as just a minute. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So as committed as the House of Camera, Museo Camera, both of us, along with our sponsors, we for that was to support photography community, to support budding photographers, especially during these times wherein people are struggling a lot in terms of getting work or getting recognized in their respective field. So I think उस दौरान ये एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत आइडिया निकल के आया, एंड इस खूबसूरत आइडिया को आज हम एग्जीक्यूट कर रहे हैं. I feel really honored and proud to be doing this, and I believe so are all our panelists to be a part of this. And जो भी होगा इसमें, जो भी विनर निकल के आएंगे, जो भी लोग इसमें अनाउंस होंगे, I believe they will make use, rightly they will make use of all the grants that will be allotted to them. and will make sure that they put all their efforts in utilizing each and every penny that will be given to them in terms of creating some really nice artwork. So moving forward, I'll just give you a brief. The total applications we received for the grant was 362, and if you talk about images, we've received close to 3,888 images and total videos of 415. Along with that, total finalist that we're going to share here will be approximately, I think, 5, Alex, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, five,
Yeah.
five.
Yeah, so these 5 participants are going to get the grant. Now let me tell you, there is a process to receive the grant, and each and every participant who is receiving the grant right now, जो भी अपना नाम यहाँ पे देखेंगे, उनको respective email से भी communicate किया जाएगा about the entire process, and THC team will get in touch with them. Okay, so just a minute. So we have Farhan Khan from New Delhi for this grant. Now Farhan की मैंने भी कुछ images देखी हैं, and this is one of the most I think impactful images among all the images I have seen. So Farhan Khan from New Delhi, congratulations, and THC team will definitely get in touch with you as soon as possible regarding the grant and the process. Then we have Prahlad Gopakumar from Ahmedabad, India. And again, our panelists have selected these people. They have done some fabulous work based on their work and based on their grant intentions or objective or the story. Uske basis pe inka selection kiya gaya hai. So Prahlad Gopakumar from Ahmedabad, congratulations again to you. Rajiv AG from Bangalore. Congratulations, Rajiv. THC team will get back to you regarding the process of the grant. Kamlesh Sharma from Udaipur. Congratulations, Kamlesh. If you are here, if you have joined us, congratulations. World Photography Day पे आपके लिए एक बहुत अच्छी खबर that आपको THC और Museo कैमरा की तरफ से ग्रांट मिलता है अपनी फोटोग्राफी को और आगे ले जाने के लिए. Prachi Adisara from Ahmedabad, if I'm pronouncing your surname right. Prachi Adisara from Ahmedabad, congratulations, and THC team will get back to you regarding the grant. So congratulations to all the participants जिन्होंने participate किया, ना सिर्फ winners but all the other participants जिन्होंने participate किया इस contest पे, इस grant में, and hopefully जो भी winners हैं, जैसे कि मैंने पहले भी बोला कि जो भी grant आपको allot होगा उसका process आपसे share किया जाएगा एक personal email के through, and then जो भी grant आपको मिलता है, I hope you will make use of this grant and exploit the grant to its best. So next, now after the grant, sorry, I will again get back to our panelist. So question is, as I said, our panelists, if they can help the budding photographers जिनको grant मिला है, give them some direction from where they should start and how it can be useful for them and how they should make use of it. Probably that will help them in at least getting some starting point from where to start. So who would like to start? Dinesh ji? Yeah.
No, we'll start with Shivang now this time.
Okay,
Let's
Shivang
do
ji.
it the other way around now.
Shivang ji?
Yes.
Yeah, so would you like to give some suggestions, advices, and direction for to the people who have just received the grant, where to start, and just to help them?
First of all, congratulations to all people who have made it to this final round for the grant. Um, so I also received a set of entries from a wildlife perspective, people who wanted to apply for projects in the wildlife field. Um, and unfortunately, there was not any project which I felt which was worthy enough for a grant, and I had to reject all those entries. They are, I mean, there's no reason to feel disappointed because of that, because I had my valid reasons. Uh, so, a grant is provided for a photography project which someone believes in. You probably, as a photographer, you have done some kind of a body of work, and as an organization, in this case, the House of Cards and the Cheese magazine, the entire all the brands are coming forward to support you guys as photographers in order to complete that particular project. And it's just a supporting hand which has been given to a project. Uh, it does not mean that this is a concept which you want to work on, and in order to work on that particular concept, uh, you are asking for a grant money, not only to work on that concept, but even to buy photography equipments and all those things. It doesn't work like that. It's just a formulation of a photographic story. I mean, in case you are a filmmaker, formulation of a filming story, and just aiding that particular concept. So, I'm really looking forward to all these projects which have gone into the final round, and I hope that the money which has been which would be allocated to you, you make good utilization and come out with a great photographic story which can bring about a good impact in some or the other way. So that is something which I'm really looking forward to, and I hope next year you guys, when you participate in the same event, and when you are submitting your ideas pertaining from a wildlife point of view, you should really think about various aspects. You don't need to ask for $7,000 to do a wildlife project. You guys are blessed to be born in a country where we have so much of biodiversity in terms of wildlife. It's not necessary to even go to a national park or a tiger reserve to hunt for a story. I mean, even sitting in places like Delhi, Mumbai, or even any city in India, you guys are surrounded with photographic stories pertaining to nature, environment, and wildlife. It's just uh, how you guys as photographers, you can identify those stories and just work on it. I mean, throughout during the lockdown process, even I as a photographer, I traveled for nearly 300 days in a field. I'm in some remote location uh, shooting some species, working on a project. But even in this lockdown situation, I was forced to think about stories which I could work on around my place. And there are things. And as an Indian, as Indian photographers, as Indian wildlife photographers, we are blessed to be born in this country. So just take that thing into consideration and just keep on looking out for great stories in the future.
Nice. Thank you, Shivangji, for such a in-depth insight. And I believe जितने भी लोग especially जिन्होंने wildlife photography entries भेजी होंगी, I'm sure they must have learned something from this particular small speech of yours. कि it's not just wildlife sanctuaries जो आपको visit करनी चाहिए. We are definitely blessed with so much of flora and fauna around us that if required, you just need a idea and then a story to work on. And definitely next time you will see a lot of nice wildlife entries as well. I'm pretty sure.
Of course, I'm also looking forward to it, and because as wildlife photographers, there is a dire need to for young photographers to come up with ideas and concepts where they can tell stories, and that is how Indian wildlife photography should be able to graduate more from an international point of view.
Shivangi, I'd just like to elaborate on this particular thing. Wildlife photography is very fascinating subject for me as well. And I've done a bit of wildlife photography when I was working with Nikon while testing a couple of tele lenses and all those things. But what I see is how wildlife, and correct me if I'm wrong, so that our viewers can also learn from it, from this discussion of ours, that most of the time, people who want to pursue wildlife photography, they only eye for big cats. I'm talking about people who want to get into wildlife photography. They get very fascinated by photographers like you, watching your Instagram handle. They kind of ignore all the wildlife, but they are more focused on the headshots of the tiger and lion and leopard and panther. And they get fascinated by those Nat Geo Wildcat series and tiger series and all those things. But eventually, what I have analyzed, if I see last 10, 20 years of international wildlife contest winners, I think rarely I have seen a cat shot, big cat shot as a winner. And I have seen mostly it's other wildlife shots apart from cat that goes into winning category. And that's what should be the idea. हम भी जब safari पे wildlife tour करते हैं, so people tend to skip iguanas and butterflies. They just keep on looking for tigers, and that's the biggest mistake, I should say. They forget to enjoy. You have to enjoy the wildlife to actually photograph the wildlife, right?
Of course, Abhishek, I agree with you. I mean, especially when it comes to a country like India, of course, we have species like tigers, leopards, and in fact, tigers are kind of the brand ambassadors of Indian wildlife. So, it is obvious that people get attracted to these big cats, but eventually, as an Indian wildlife photographer, that's why I constantly keep on harping this fact that as Indian wildlife photographers, we are blessed to be born in this country. And just to give you a small statistics, there are around 39 to 40 species, 39 species of cats globally, big cats as well as small cats. India as a country is home to around 16 species of those cats, and out of that, you have tigers, leopards, snow leopards, and Asiatic lions and stuff. But they are smaller cats, and there are 16 of them are living in India. So, if you think about it, India is home to 40% of the global cat species. So, ये ऐसे हवा में नहीं हो गया. इसके पीछे there's a reason, because from a geographical point of view, our country has got various forms of diverse habitats, right from the upper reaches of the Himalayas to swamps, rainforests, grasslands. So, in one country, there's various diversified habitats and landforms. And that is the reason why this country is able to support so many kind of species. And I mean, I just gave you an example of cats. If you think about birds, amphibians, reptiles, any particular topic you pick up in the subgenre of wildlife, you will find that this country is amongst the top 10 when it comes to housing those particular species. So, as Indian photographers, we should be proud of that. We are surrounded by subjects. I mean, if today I was born in, say, Nairobi, Kenya, or probably if I was born in some other country like UK or United States, मेरे को इतना पैसा खर्च करके आना पड़ता है यहाँ पे ये सब देखने के लिए, right? But I'm an Indian photographer. I have access to everything. So it's just that as a photographer, I need to open my eyes and see what is happening around me, and uh, at the end of the day, it's an image or a series of images which are woven together in order to tell a story. So it is absolutely, it is not important that you spend hundreds and thousands of dollars in order to go to a tiger reserve and photograph a tiger. Because, I mean, you were talking about tigers. If you think about it, it's quite funny that tiger being such an iconic cat, आज की date में, when it comes to Indian wildlife photography, it's the most photographed cat in India, right? So as a it's very difficult for you to come out with a very compelling tiger image. So, so yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, you guys are all surrounded with stories. Just hunt for it.
Nice, Shivangji. And the reason for all of you participants, the reason I had a discussion with Shivangji regarding wildlife was because even, he is not satisfied with the kind of entries we have received, despite of the fact, as he said, we live in a blessed country full of wildlife, natural habitat. इसके बावजूद भी we didn't receive much of interesting wildlife images, which can be entitled, for a grant. But now coming to Dineshji, yes, Dineshji, your point.
One point I would like to make first is that whoever is participating here and everyone on the panel, thank you, Shivang. That was a masterclass in two things. One, passion for what you love doing, all right, and which is not just about photography. If you were listening to what he was saying and how he was talking about his subject, he was talking about his subject. He was not just talking about photography. So that's a very, very important point. You can feel that he has a passion for wildlife. It's not about a passion for wildlife photography. Secondly, the point he's made about being disappointed and therefore saying that people have failed, I think is an extremely important lesson to learn, because there's far more failures in our lives than there are successes. And that is where you learn the most from, the time when you fail, because then you understand what you failed about, why did you fail. It gives you far better pointers in terms of how to succeed the next time. All right. So again, I'm talking on a larger issue here and not about each particular project or, who won it and who didn't win it, etc. But to wrap up my point, taking off from what Shivang has so eloquently and so passionately, talked about, is that even the people who have won the grant, all right, go back and look at what is it that you have suggested as a project. Because whatever I have seen also, I felt was a bit too loose and a bit too all over the place. I was personally also very taken aback by people listing things like equipment they would require. That is never a grant person's, interest, that you tell them this is the camera or this is the lens or whatever. To impress me, if I am one of the judges on the grant, and you have to do that, you have to be able to communicate to me what is it that you love about the project you want to do. How is it that you want to then approach it? What is it that you want to say about the subject which you want to do the project on? How will you go about doing it? Those are the points, not about what equipment and where you'll go and, where you'll stay. I'm sorry, that is a second stage, and that's not what the original idea ought to be about. So please, once again, I'm sure this is being recorded, listen to what Shivang had to say, and irrespective of what genre of photography you're in love with, whether it's wildlife or whether it's any other, translate what he's saying into whatever it is that interests you in photography, and then you'll understand the point he's making, which is a very vital point.
Very true.
Thank you, Dineshji, for actually giving शिवांग ने जो भी यहाँ पे बताया, उसके अलावा जो आपने एंड में डायरेक्शन दिया, that was really important for the people. So that means for all those people who have won the grant, for them you can actually go back, have a look at your personal project, the objective, And if in case you think you have a better objective, you can still use those grant money and resources for some other project, provided that project is far more better than what you have suggested. So the idea is that you don't waste the resource that has been given to you. And trust me, a lot of photographers, my perspective is, a lot of photographers, they call me asking kaun sa course kare, kaun sa bachelor's kare, kaun sa master's kare photography mein. I think in photography, the only qualification you have is your portfolio. And a lot of people think while it comes to building a portfolio कि कोई हमको contact करे क्योंकि हमारे पास full frame camera है और हमें काम दे दे तो हम portfolio बनाएंगे. That's a wrong approach. I think this grant is a right platform उन लोगों को मिला है to build your portfolio. A lot of people have recently started funding their own portfolios, funding their own project. It's like putting money in your qualification. जैसे हम education loan लेते हैं बैंक से to fulfill a degree or a master's or pursue a degree or a master's in a particular area. Similarly, this grant is, it's like an educational loan to you. Of course, we don't want the money back like bank, but again, we want you to generate decent qualification for yourself as a portfolio, as a personal project, and then that personal project can give you further more opportunities out in the world, and of course make you a better photographer. Again, adding to the same question, Ravi ji, aapka point of view.
First of all, congratulations to all the winners, and better luck for the participants for the next time. For me, I think there are so many projects which people have in mind, and sometimes there are not enough resources to pursue those projects. So some people are not able to fund it out of their own finances. So this grant is definitely going to help them, help the people who didn't have the resources of their own and they still wanted to complete the project. And another thing here is that this is a commitment. Like THC is giving you a commitment of certain funds, but there's a commitment from the photographer also to complete the project in a specified time and to complete the project with a proper focus. Not like we photographers generally have a tendency to work at various things parallelly, and our focus is somehow lost. But when you have this kind of commitment that you have got this grant which has to be completed in a particular period of time, then you're more disciplined, then you're more focused, and then you put up all your energies in that particular project. And specifically, like in terms of improvisation, I want to say here is that you have given your project proposal which outlines certain things, but during the actual process, if you feel that there is a scope of improvisation and there's a scope of improvement, that has to be considered. Ultimately, at the end of the day, at the end of the period, your project is going to count. Your efforts are going to show in the final output which you're able to complete. So put in your best efforts, be focused, be disciplined. I think that's what is all this grant is all about. That's what I personally feel out here. What do you feel, Abhishek, or other panelists?
Raviji, I absolutely agree with you. I would say when I started doing photography, there was nothing called grant. I kind of, I would like to highlight this, that a lot of people want immediate success in the world of photography. They get fascinated by photographers like you and Shivang and Dinesh ji and Shahid ji, and they think that they're going to climb the ladder as soon as possible. But again, as I go back to my previous idea, that it's a slow process, it's a gradual process, it doesn't happen overnight. But having said that, photography contest and photography grant like these can help you take jumps. जितना हमको 3-4 साल में लगा कुछ करने के लिए, probably कुछ particular time को आप skip कर सकते हैं और एक particular position पे आ सकते हैं, जिसके लिए probably आपने या बाकी panelists ने मेहनत करी वहां तक पहुंचने के लिए. So ये definitely एक advantage मिलता है photography grants and contest का, कि आपको immediate limelight में आने का मौका मिलता है, और फिर उसको sustain आप कैसे करते हैं और उसको आगे कैसे लेके जाते हैं, that's the most important thing. शाहिद जी, आपका क्या कहना है?
Absolutely. I would like to congratulate all the participants and especially the winners. And as you said, in our times, we never knew that there is something like a grant. Somebody will give us money to pursue our passions. We have to save money even to buy a film and to get it processed. It was so hard. So the absolutely lucky people, you're living in such a time. So I would really urge people to respect this in a way, and not take this, even though this is going to take one of the major hindrances to a project out of your way, which is mostly financial, because that to do whatever you need resources. So this is taken that away, but not to stop there. I mean, take it as an opportunity and use it. Look at the panelists here. Look at their experience. We are talking about at least 250 to 300 years of combined experience here. So you have got this opportunity to connect with such people who are, achievers, who are exemplary. They have a body of work which I'm just reading comments already. People are saying they've been following work of these photographers for a long time. So take it as an opportunity, focus on your project, develop, ask questions, and be honest with this grant, because this is going to not only strengthen you as a person, but also strengthen your art and your project. When you put passion, you combine that with honest intent, you are going, bound to get results which will speak for themselves and will also contribute to the whatever project you're doing and to a photography community in general. So congratulations, and this is what I would say, that how it will be useful to new age and budding photographers is the opportunity it has given you to connect with through your project. You will get this opportunity to connect with so many things which are planned and which will be coming your way. So make the best use of it. Thanks, Abhishek.
Thank you, Shahid ji. That was really insightful, and I think जो भी अभी तक पैनलिस्ट ने यहाँ पे शेयर की है इन्फॉर्मेशन रिगार्डिंग द ग्रांट, जिन लोगों को नहीं मिला है दैट उसमें डिसअपॉइंट होने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. And I believe whatever you are pursuing in terms of personal project or photography, keep pursuing that. And definitely it is not just this platform of THC, you will get other platforms also, because photography बहुत आगे निकल चुका है, and lot of people are working towards building the community, not just THC. Individually भी जो photographers आपको यहाँ पे panelists दिख रहे हैं, individually भी they are making efforts to give something to the photography society, and I believe you will definitely make use of this grant, जिनको भी ये grant मिला है. I think आदित्य जी का point of view भी जानना जरूरी है, and उसके बाद हम next topic पे जाएंगे. आदित्य जी हैं?
Sir,
I think Aditya had to go for another talk.
yes.
So he's not here. And I'm sorry, even I'll have to leave now because I have another talk for Sarpedia starting soon. But thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you, Dinesh ji. Thank you for.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure listening to Shivang and Ravi and Shahid and Abhishek. Shivang, kabhi milenge yaar.
Absolutely, Dinesh ji, hum sabko milna chahiye. I'm here and I'm absolutely delighted to be here and really love to get in touch with all of you.
No, absolutely. I think what we can do is let's meet at the Museo camera one of these days. Ek program banate hain. Aap aiye, aap wahan aaye nahi hai shayad. And I can guarantee that you'll love your time there. Ravi?
Sure.
Okay,
Shahid?
bye Dinesh. Yeah,
Good one.
definitely.
See you there.
Thank you,
okay.
Dinesh ji.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye Dinesh.
Bye.
And thank you to all the panelists, and congratulations once again to all the winners. But be careful with your grant and think of it as something which you have cherished and put all you can into providing the work which you wanted to do. All right. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So Dinesh ji will keep joining us for other sessions as well in future. I am pretty sure THC team will definitely get in touch with all these individual panelists, and we will be doing a lot of sessions with them in coming future. But apart from that, I would also like to know the views of our esteemed panelists on this topic, जो काफी ज़्यादा पूछा जाने वाला topic है, and how to be creative during these times of lockdown. So शिवांग जी, मैं चाहता हूँ कि हम सभी अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करें, उसी से शायद आप के एक्सपीरियंस से ही जनता यहाँ पे जितनी हमको ज्वाइन करी हुई है, they will learn something. What exactly you are doing to keep your creativity alive during these lockdown?
So as I mentioned earlier, that there's so much of there's so much of subjects as well as facts around us that at times moving out of the city in order to create a compelling storytelling image or a series of images, that is not important. So during the lockdown, there's a small temple near my house, and there are hundreds of langurs out there. Okay. And lot of pilgrims come, devotees come, they feed these langurs. So those langurs have become very habituated to humans. So I, along with my team, we spent a considerable amount of time, visiting that location again and again, trying to not only come up with a creative body of work pertaining to langurs, but also, after a certain point of time, we started observing, when we started observing the synergy between humans and langurs. So that was quite fascinating to photograph. Images like masked people, masked devotees, devotees with masks and all, in close proximity with langurs and stuff. So every time I visit that location, I come up with a new idea which forces me to come back, think about what can be done, and it just forces me to go back to that location. So, in a normal situation where I'm mostly on the field for almost all the year, I would have never thought of coming down to a species like a langur and giving it a very focused and prioritized approach. So for me, that was very interesting. And I guess for all people who are interested in nature and wildlife photography, just choose one subject around you. It's the monsoon time right now. There would be hundreds of subjects around you, from caterpillars to frogs, snakes. Uh, it's just a matter of just choosing one subject and devoting your time and working on it properly.
Nice, Shivangi. At least you are doing some amount of photography, even if it is for with langurs. So that way, I would say you are blessed. So you have some location wherein you can actually, but you rightly said, I put up in Greater Noida, and where I stay, there are agricultural fields left, right, everywhere. So yesterday I encountered foxes very rarely, which and not like one or two. I saw four of them together having a group discussion in the middle of Chora. So that was quite fascinating for me. Unfortunately, I didn't have a camera at that time. So, but
if you think about wildlife photography in today's time, you were mentioning about the kind of images which are performing well at a global level. So whenever you are showing any kind of interaction between animal scapes and the urban scape, so those kind of images, they have a more storytelling appeal as compared to a tiger walking on the road, and that's a very standard image. But if I talk about a langur in a temple habitat, there are so many things which can be done around that. Leopards of Mumbai, we have a lot of species which can be worked upon. So just broaden your horizons.
Right.
Think
So I
beyond
think
time.
exactly. So I think a lot of people must have broadened their scope of creativity by listening to you. Now coming to Raviji. So how you are working on your creative
Okay.
ideas during these lockdown times?
Continuing with what Shivang said, broaden your horizon. I was never a birds photographer, but during this lockdown, I have clicked more birds than ever in my whole life. And you were mentioning about something like urbanscape. So I've done a whole series on these exotic birds which are sitting on grills, these urban spaces, pipes, rotten pipes, rusted pipes. So I've done a whole series on this in last 4 months. So very soon I'm going to compile those pictures and come out with some kind of like a presentation or maybe a book or something like that. So in these 4 months, I was fortunate to have these exotic birds other than pigeons and crows visiting my balcony around my house. So I could capture them. So that has kept me busy for last 4 months. So in like normally when the lockdown was not there, I used to pick up my camera twice in a week or thrice in a week. But this time during the lockdown, I have picked up my camera every day and I have tried to click a photograph. So birds photography is one thing which I have really I've gotten really interested into and really have started identifying the birds and kind of liking the way like understanding their behavior and all those things. Another thing which I've done here is whatever I do a lot of food photography. So in this last 4 months, whatever I've eaten in a day, I've tried to capture that picture. So and I've been posting those pictures on my social media. So whether I'm using my phone camera or I'm using my professional camera.
So Raviji, if I interrupt,
Yeah, please.
do you have a daughter?
I have, unfortunately, no. I have two sons, so
Okay. So
we
no,
always
mostly
long.
females are pretty fascinated to click a picture of everything that they cook or eat these days with a
No,
cell phone. So
no,
I
I don't.
believe
No,
some
but
lady in your house must have inspired you for that or what?
no, my wife does good cooking. So and whatever she's cooking, I make it a point to photograph that. So
Nice.
I have created a small setup in my home. Not exactly a setup. It's just a dining table next to a window where I use my camera, whether it's a cell phone camera or my professional camera. So at least in last 120 days, 4 months or so, I must have clicked at least 100 photographs and posted them on my social media. So a lot of people are appreciating those pictures. So there's no dearth. Yeah.
Any new Chole Bhature photos?
Yeah. I have clicked. So I'm coming out with a video. I'm doing some tutorial videos on food using natural light for food photography. So in next 2-3
Wow,
days, you'll definitely see this new photograph of chole bhature.
That's
wonderful.
So
nice.
the basic outlay remains the same. Basic cooking remains the same. These are some props have changed. Some lighting has changed. Not beyond that. So there's no dearth of subjects around us. It's not that when you go to exotic locations, you're able to capture pictures. You don't have to go to Ranthambore to capture wildlife. It's like Shivang is going just visiting a temple near his house and taking the picture. And you also saw some wildlife in your area. Not only wildlife or food, you have so much of still life around you, so much of nature
Yeah,
around you. So
absolutely.
whatever fascinates you, it's not that you have to restrict yourself to one particular topic or particular subject. It's basically all about observation as in context of the subject, in context of the lighting, how the light is falling on that particular subject. So even without the camera, you have to be observant enough to see things around you, and that allows you to have your creative juices flowing in you. So that flowing of creative juices is very important as far as photography or any other medium is concerned. So don't lose touch, even if times are tough, you're not able to really go out and experiment and do things we like the most. But considering the available resources you have and considering the circumstances, enjoy whatever you have, whatever equipment you have, whatever camera you have, whatever lighting setup you have. So enjoy that. Basically, that's what I feel. That will keep the passion going. And when you go, actually, after the lockdown, which is going to happen in near future, you'll definitely be going out. So these ideas, these learnings are definitely going to help you when you are out again. I think that's my viewpoint here.
Raviji, that was really nice, and I love the idea of food photography. Normally, my wife keep on doing it with the cell phone, so I've never shown interest in that. But after listening to you, I believe I will definitely look into that area as well. And I'm sure all the participants who have joined in, uh, as rightly said by Shivang and Raviji, that it's not mandatory that you should go to an exotic wildlife sanctuary or an exotic island or a landscape to photograph something. You can really start from your place only if you are really passionate about something. So Shahidji, what's your take?
Yeah, absolutely. This it's all about uh, as Raviji was saying, let your creative juices flow, and I mean, still life and self portraits and projects and challenges that people are sharing seem to be the practice these days during lockdowns, that people are coming up with such creative ideas, and sometimes when you are bound by constraints, it forces you to think in a different way. This is what is outside the box thinking, and you let that flow, and you will see that the best of your creative ideas are flowing out. So this is what I think we all are doing. And I'm also kind of doing these days is to approaching my picture that I have already taken with another point of view and trying to give it a very different kind of edit, and creating something very different out of it, because now you have got a lot of time. You have peace. You don't have those many new projects. So you are able to give a creative twist to your already existing work, and that is also something about creativity that one can try and learn. It's another opportunity for us to enhance our creativity, is to learn more about our craft and learn the ways how we can take it to another level and give it a new and different look. Yeah.
Nice, Shahidji. In similar fashion, I'll just like to quickly share my experience during these periods. What happened was, I was once working like this on my laptop. I was editing some image, and my boy, 7-year-old boy, was playing with the small point and shoot camera. But accidentally, from standard color profile, he switched to monochrome, and he just took my shot while I was working. And after a couple of days, I was just trying to organize all the memory cards. So I took out the memory card. I just checked what's inside this memory card, and I eventually got to see that particular monochrome image, which my 7-year-old boy shot. I'm not saying creatively it was like a keeper or a very good shot, but I realized that how showing no colors can actually portray a very ordinary scene, or make a ordinary scene look extraordinary in terms of telling a story. Because at times colors are they become distraction. And from that point onwards, I started pursuing monochrome photography extensively every single day. So every week, me, my wife, my kid, we mount a light and we take all kind of portrait shot, but all monochrome. And of course they are all in raw, but then the idea is to pull out monochrome out of it. And I'm so enjoying the process. Again, as you said, I'm also going through my images which I've shot in the past, and trying to re-edit them in monochrome, whichever way possible. जो भी monochrome में ज़्यादा अच्छा लग सकता है image, उसको मैं monochrome करने का कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. And I learned this thing जब मैंने देखा लोगों का black and white photography उनके websites पे, Instagram पे, some people are doing some amazing work. And the only way I used to know till a couple of months back of doing because I never pursued monochrome photography. So the only way to convert a color image to monochrome, what I knew was to go Photoshop, filter, convert into black and white, and that's it. And eventually I realized that that's not a process. I went through a lot of tutorials online, and then I realized you have to play with curves, you have to play with reds, greens, and blues, and then you have to use dodge and burn, which is again a very old technique. Purane time pe bhi dark room mein bhi dodge and burn technique use hota tha, so it's not a bad technique to use. And I'm enjoying the process of creating those color, not all, but some of them color images into monochrome. And I believe अब कोई भी assignment मेरा आगे होता in future, I will definitely want to have at least one monochrome out of that assignment for myself. So that's what I have been learning, and I'm sure जितने भी यहाँ पे participants हैं, they must have had some idea कि कैसे, देखिए इतने experienced photographers हैं, इतना साल हो गया इन लोगों को काम करते हुए इंडस्ट्री में, बट फिर भी आइडियाज की कमी नहीं है अब भी. सो आप लोग की एनर्जी लेवल कितनी भी हाई हो, आप कितना भी बढ़िया कैमरा फुल फ्रेम यूज कर रहे हो, अभी भी आपका कंपटीशन बहुत टफ लोगों के साथ है. सो कीप दैट इन माइंड, राइट? सो कीप दैट इन माइंड. Yes, Shivangi, you want to say something?
I would just like to add something out here that to all the people who are listening to this event right now. Over the years, I've come to the belief there's nothing called a talented photographer and a non-talented photographer. You all guys are talented photographers. Absolutely. There's only one thing which can just help you up your game in this thing, and that is practice. Putting in those, what you can say, 10,000 hours of practice. That is what can make you talented, even more talented. So, and in this period of lockdown where you don't have many projects to do, I mean, in case you all are working in all your corporate lives, there is a fair amount of mental space which you can put into this hobby of photography and just own your talent. Put in practice, because practice is something that's the only key word to remember. 10,000 hours of practice.
Right, Shivang, right, absolutely right. And
absolutely.
If anyone of you are interested in sports, a person can become a good sportsman because he's just putting in practice in his game. So it's the same thing about photography. Yes.
Right, Shivang. I also believe in the same, keeping your basics right, working on your basics. I think people get into technicalities too much these days, the resolution, the sharpness, the color and color profile and all those things. Eventually, it's all about the basics, no matter whichever camera you have. It's all about how you visualize a subject. It's all about how passionate you are about your subject rather than just with the camera, and how you can actually see the subject. And it is very also becomes important in this competitive world to be really updated, keep interacting with industry people, like keep attending these kind of live sessions, not just our live session of THC, but I'm talking about other live sessions also, because right now you can't really do much outside in terms of gaining knowledge. You cannot go and attend classes, you cannot go and attend physical workshops. So I think this is a perfect way of enhancing your knowledge, and I'm sure that people who have joined us must be learning a lot from this particular session. Now again, we will move forward. Now winners of, finally we are here. Winners of World Photography Contest. But I think, yeah, before doing that, we will talk about winners of World Photography Contest at the end. But we conducted a contest called Pushkar Coffee Table Book Contest, and we have the winner with us, selected by renowned photographers Shweta Malhotra and Sonali Divnani. And I will hand over the session to Mukeshji, I believe, to go through the presentation.
Sonali,
right, Mukeshji?
Sonali is here, and we will run the
Hi,
presentation.
Mukeshji.
Hi, Sonali. So Sonali is like from Mumbai originally, but based out of Hong Kong currently. Currently, I mean,
Yes, that's right.
yes. So she had been one of the mentors. We did Pushkar 2019. Today we are launching a coffee table book, and some of the images selected from there she will walk us through. Can someone run the presentation, please?
Perfect. Thank you, guys. So a little bit about myself. Hi, guys. I'm Sonali Devnani. I'm a photographer
Hi.
based from Mumbai, but living in Hong Kong. First of all, a very good evening to all the respected mentors, Ravi ji, Shahid ji, Dinesh ji, who left, Abhishek. You're doing a great job. So this is all about a Pushkar workshop. I've been a regular at the Pushkar Camel Fair, and a lot of you all as photographers must have been there as well. As a photographer, when I started this journey in Pushkar 6 years back, and I've attended 6 years of Pushkar Camel Fair, I'm very well versed with what all you can get there as subjects and what all your camera pleases and doesn't. I'm also a freelance journalist. I did my master's in journalism in Hong Kong University. So I've actually made a video about the fading of the tradition of the camel fair and how things are changing so drastically in our country when it comes up to all these traditions. It's always a pleasure hosting people in Pushkar. It's a beautiful place with a very crazy vibe, and it is a photographer's dream come true. And everyone who has been there, I'm sure, feels the same. We were very, very lucky. We had a lot of participants for the workshop that was organized by Cheese. Thank you for organizing such a great workshop. With all the logistics worked out really well. And we have a couple winners. So I guess we're going to be talking about the winners. But other than that, for everyone who has visited Pushkar, it is a very difficult place to shoot because it actually has more photographers than subjects. And that has sadly been the way it has been for the last 3 or 4 years, actually. So I'm very impressed with the images that I saw. I went through hundreds of images to come through with this short list of 3. So I hope people don't feel bad about it. Some of them I know, some of them I don't. We had a lot of participants in this workshop. And as I was hearing in this entire talk about grants and, encouraging photography in the way that, Cheese has been doing, it's very inspirational hearing all of you all talk about it and actually happening. Because as a journalist, even I look for grants for documentaries, and you would all agree it's very, very difficult to get grants for that dream project that you have. So wishing everyone who's won the grant a good luck on their journey of this creativity. I guess we're ready to show this slideshow of the images, and I'll be talking about the images and why I felt that these images resonated to Pushkar so well for them to be winners. So I think the first one that we have, these are slideshow of the mentors that were there. Yeah.
You can skip the video. It will not play good.
The winners are like waiting for it. All right. So this is our second runner-up, Afzal. This is a brilliant image of, a portrait. I'm a portrait photographer and I love them. Of these, camel herders or authentic tribal men wearing these very colorful turbans, carrying their pipe or their bidi or their cigarette, and sitting in different corners of the camel fair or various areas of Pushkar doing what they're doing. And this one was brilliant because it had everything, no distraction, brilliant eye contact and the smoke and everything, very few colors that usually you would see in Rajasthan, just the turban, but just something about this image gave it away. So this is second runner-up, Afzal Khan. Congratulations on your award. We have a first runner-up, again, a portrait, Yash. Yash was one of our participants in our Cheese Camel Fair tour that we had. A great image because it shows everything and it depicts everything about the camel fair, the camels, the herder, and everything that we see. I don't think we're seeing it on the screen right now. Yeah, and his emotion. They lead a very difficult life, as you can see, in the ground for hours and hours, sunlight and very harsh weather conditions. In fact, this year we had a lot of rain and hailstorms, so they come through a lot. And the light was perfect, so many times very harsh, but I think he captured it really well with the great balance of shadows and highlights. So that was our second runner-up. Congratulations, Yash. And we have a winner. Do we? Yes, we do. The sunsets of Pushkar. Until a few years ago, when I used to go to Pushkar, I would completely enjoy the sunsets. Sadly, with the amount of pollution levels we've had in our country, and in a desert-like condition, sunsets become very difficult to capture. And I think Gina, our winner, has done it very well. This image depicts Pushkar so brilliantly because it's such a tourist destination with the camel herders and their carts that they take around for their tourists to take a trip around the desert area. And you can see the setting sun, very brilliant colors, and the camel, the carts and everything, just the reds and the yellows gave it really well, depicting Pushkar in their camel fair evening time very, very well. So congratulations, Gina, on winning the
Thank you so
award.
much, Sonali. Thank you.
So we have.
So yes, that's all about it.
Yeah, we have all the three winners, and would like to mention that Saisa was also there at in that event. We had a privilege of that. Unfortunately, his images were not part of the, but his images are part of the coffee table book, which we'll be sharing with everyone. So we have all the winners here. Congratulations, all of you. And Gina, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mukesh ji. Thank you so much. Yeah, Pushkar this time was my first experience, and I couldn't thank Cheese team and the mentors. They truly guided us, and especially Sonali, she knows Pushkar so well that she helped us, guided us all throughout during those 2 days while we were there. And this was actually a shot which just happened by chance, I would say. And I was running low on battery also, I remember. So, and there were so many photographers around to catch this particular shot. I was just trying to run and be ahead of them. And then I was actually shooed away by many. And that just, ma'am, move. And I was like, no, I'm not going to move. I'm also here for the same thing. So I just went ahead and I clicked this, and I guess the result is here today. I'm very happy. Thank you so much.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you, Mukesh.
And Afzal, you there?
Hi, Mukesh, and thanks and thanks everyone for selecting. Actually, it came as a surprise for me because half an hour ago only I received a call from Mukesh that I am one among the winner. So it's really, you can say something surprising and very exciting for me. And likewise, Pushkar was also one of my first experience because prior to this, I was I'm still a budding photographer, and Pushkar was one of the experience which I had gone through and through a lot of learning, especially thanks to my mentor, Mr. Aman Chotani. He has provided with a lot of detailing and how to really pursue and what exactly being as a photographer you need to have. So I learned a lot of things from them, and especially thanks to Cheese and Cheese team. And that's it. I think. Thanks to everyone.
Great. Thank you very much for being a part of that. Yes, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Congratulations to you too.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. I think I'm really very surprised and excited at the same time because Pushkar was actually my first photo walk as per se. Before this, I was actually just having a small camera and just shooting around, not knowing what I'm shooting. But I think Pushkar definitely gave me a path. All the three mentors were very, very good to teach me how to actually frame a shot or how to click better. And the shot that was selected, I think I wouldn't say I had put a lot of thought in that, but I was just clicking whatever expectations I had with the scene, and I think it came out to be better to be selected as a
as a winner. So I think I would like to thank Chiz and all the mentors, definitely. And that was actually the turning point in my photography life, I would say, because uh, I selected Pushkar workshop just to check if I'm actually interested in photography or not. And I believe that it turned out to be very well. And I think I can pursue for life now. Thank you.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sonali ji.
Thank you, Mukeshji. It was an awesome experience of having so many people, and you guys did this so well. And I was very excited about showing Pushkar to everyone, and I'm sure everyone enjoyed it. Looking forward to many more such workshops because I feel we always need a platform like you have to bring everyone together, and you guys are doing it brilliantly.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Hasmi Saab, would you like to add anything? You had a first-hand experience there. Shahid Saab?
Yeah, absolutely. Mukesh ji, as Sonali said, that I've been to Pushkar before, and I've done that, I think 10, 12 years back. So it was so nice to return to it, and it was a different experience because it has changed so much over time. You have done a brilliant arrangement. I mean, there's no doubt about it, and the company of so many creatives, and everything. You were taking care of all the back end, so we only had to do photography, which was an awesome experience. So really enjoyed, and it was a great learning and great experience.
Thank you very much. And back to Abhishek sir, you were in 2018. You were also there. So with that note, if you could take this meeting further. Thank you. Abhishek ji, you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not used to this process. Yeah. Anyways, I am saying that congratulations to everyone, Pushkar Coffee Table Book contest winners. And yes, Mukeshji, I was there with you during our workshop, and it was a fabulous workshop. Actually, that was my 9th or 10th time in Pushkar. And as Sonali was mentioning, that it's I don't know how these people pulled out these shots in 2019, because till 2018 I actually gave up on Pushkar, because eventually, as she mentioned, more of photographers, and you'll see in terms of subject rather than the local content. And in 2018, what I did was I captured a couple of shots. I was conducting a workshop. I am just sharing my experience, and people who joined with me in the workshop already attended a lot of my other workshops in the past in Ladakh and Sikkim and other parts of the country. So they knew my style of working, and we were like, the intention was to get one good shot every day, which is kind of very unrealistic goal, but we tried. And when I got my shot, I actually gave up in 2018, considering there were not much camels, not much traders. It was all photographers, and I was really disheartened. So एक उधर पहाड़ी के ऊपर एक I'm sure Sonali must be aware, एक पहाड़ी के ऊपर वहाँ पे एक चाय का टी स्टॉल है छोटा सा, उसने कुछ सेटअप बनाया है. So I used to go there. उसका एक टूटा फूटा सा ऊपर उसने एक बेड डाल के रखा था. I used to just lie there for a couple of hours because I gave up. So I'm really surprised कि 2019 में people have pulled up such nice shots, and congratulations to them. And I think I really need to hone my skills again, because I am now getting more relaxed photographer than I was ever
I think
before.
you need to go back, Abhishek, in 2021. That's what this whole coffee table book launch and winners is telling you to do that.
I will definitely. I'm looking forward to it. And it's not too far from Delhi, actually. So, and people are visiting from all across the globe, and people like us are sitting in Delhi watching Netflix. Not right. I think I should pursue it very often. Any which ways, congratulations once again. Thank you, Sonali, for moderating the session. And it was
Thank
really
you,
a
Abhishek.
pleasure talking to you. And I will now, can I share my screen now, Mukeshji?
Sure, sure. Please go ahead. So we have like it's 6 o'clock now. So we have a launch of our exhibition, then announcing the winner.
Yes, I'm coming to that.
And then yeah, please.
So, as you said, we are done with the Pushkar Coffee Table book winners. What I'll do is I will hop on to the contest winners we are all waiting for. That is,
yeah, like we have first the exhibition. We can. So should we go ahead with the exhibition presentation?
So you want to go ahead with the exhibition presentation and then the contest winner? We can do that.
Exhibition is
yeah,
a
please.
part of that contest only. So the
let's talk about exhibition. Yeah.
Okay. So for that we have like the Cheese Magazine team member Rita and we have Sujita. They were the two two team members who have put this exhibition. So please share your screen and continue. So
hello, hi. This is Arietta, and let me share my screen with you so you can see the exhibition. Can you see it now?
Not yet. Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah.
Perfect. So here, me and Sujitha, we've put everything together, and she's not here with us today, unfortunately, because she's having a power cut. But let's start from here. Here we have some wildlife photographs. I think everyone did a really good work, and yeah, I think there are beautiful colors. I think the composition of some of them are incredible. The flamingos, and this one is one of my favorite ones. And here we have a mixture of different ones. We have some sports photography here, and some culture photographs here with really interesting colors. And here we have the black and white wall, which is also by catching, I'd say.
Yeah, Sujita's, she was supposed to present, but I guess she's having a power cut. So we had received around 6,000 images, out of which around 75 images have been selected for this exhibition. This is a 3D virtual exhibition which we have put up. It will be available for next 1 month. All the artists, their work is here. You can scroll and go to the each images. They are segmented as per the theme, colors, and some of the places as per the genre. Anyone has any question you can ask about this exhibition? These all images we had received in the photography contest. Out of this, we have the winners also. Those images, those who are going to be 10 finalists and 3 winners. Those images are also displayed over here. So on the THC website, you will see a link there. Feel free to visit that. It's a brilliant experience in the current scenario to have a feel. We have tried, the team has tried their best to put the show together.
Okay, Jay, why don't we do one thing? Are we sharing the link of the exhibition in the chat box?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think they can quickly copy that link and keep it for their future reference.
Sure. So we can continue with the next item.
With, sorry, with, should I send
Somebody
it?
will, either somebody will share it in the, I can share it, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, it's on the THC website. I'll share it. So Abhishek ji, you can carry on.
Fine. Actually, Mukesh, that's quite nicely put up. I am seeing a virtual exhibition for the first time. I've never actually seen this. It's quite nice, and I'm sure a lot of effort must have gone into it to create this kind of 3D virtual exhibition. And the work that has been displayed here, if I'm just gazing through it, they're pretty awesome, I believe.
Awesome,
Very,
awesome.
very inspiring and very choosing these images from how many images entries you mentioned?
We had around 6,000 images.
6,000, oh gosh.
Yeah. So, Aditya ji did the final judging on this. It was curated by our team.
Nice. That's a pretty brilliant job. I think some really award-winning images, I should say, are being showcased here. So this is inspiring.
Brilliant, brilliant job.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Very well curated, I must say.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very nice.
It's
So,
two girls that did the work. Thank you very much.
No, your team did a fabulous job. Cheese did a fabulous job in doing this.
So some of the images are really amazing. If you see the image right now, this is the guy, this guy based out of Pune. He takes picture of chemicals. He brings the chemicals, put it under microscope, and he gets those amazing patterns on that. So
this is a very fine example of abstract, let me tell you.
Yeah. And creativity.
Yeah, there's no dearth of creativity. And
so
very nice.
People can just visit on their free time. We can continue.
I think if I am getting inspired to see these images, being a photographer, I'm sure participants, if they go through the link and see each and every image, that will definitely, they will learn something out of it. And the kind of images they are in terms of colors, light, contrast, composition, framing, I think in all segment, they have actually, the photographers have nailed it. Pretty nice.
Very nice. I mean, I've been to many international exhibits. This is at, if not only at par but far exceeds, I believe, some of what I've been. Brilliant.
Brilliant work. Nice, Mukesh. Nicely.
Once the lockdown is over, I think this should be a physical exhibition also.
Yes, I think, I think each image, if portrayed in a center like Indian Habitat Center or something like that,
yeah, absolutely.
Photographers, these images will definitely get benefit out of it. I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
Even now, if in case, I'm saying in terms of virtual exhibition as well, but physical exhibition will be icing on the cake.
Yeah, because what you see in the print form on the wall is totally fascinating, and
exactly,
it's a different experience altogether.
Right.
And it's interesting to know that most of this work comes from the amateur photographers or having very basic gears, and they're not very, it's their hobby. So that's really coming such a good feedback from the legend photographers here like you. I'm sure everyone will get aspired, and definitely it's a good, reward for them. Thank you.
Yeah, and I would really like to draw the attention of the people who have won the grant, and a lot of the applicants in general who in their, applications have given a list of equipment to buy. I mean, Mukesh, you just told that these are all beginners and basic equipment, so please learn and focus. You don't need equipment. And look at the creativity, look at what they have been able to do. It's absolutely fascinating. Thank you.
Shahidji, just to add, I always say this in my workshop that a good equipment and expensive equipment can enhance the quality of your work,
yeah.
but won't make you a good photographer unless and until you know how to exploit that particular equipment.
Yeah.
So I believe, yes, camera is important, tools are important, but if you don't know how to exploit them to their
Yeah.
core, there is absolutely no point spending that much of money in the equipment.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless until you don't know what you want to shoot. I remember some photographer saying that somebody asked him how to be a good photographer. He said you should know where to stand. There's so much of knowledge and things that once you know where to stand and take the picture, that makes all the
Exactly.
difference, not the equipment.
Right, absolutely right, sir. Thank you, Mukeshji. I'll share my screen now. It was lovely watching this virtual exhibition.
Thank you, Rita.
So I'm going to come down to the winners of the World Photography Contest, right? And,
starting with top.
Yeah.
The team, please add those finalists to the. Please.
So you are going to play the slides, or shall I play the slides?
Please carry on.
Okay. So just to give you some insight about it, we've received total photos 5,199, and out of those pictures we have shortlisted 10 finalists. Okay. And here are them. So the first finalist, and we're going to announce the result also, right?
Yes, so, and all the finalists are also going to win prizes, and all the 10 finalists plus then of course the grand prize here is mirrorless camera. All these finalists they will get from THC has sponsored a lot of stuff for all the finalists, and all the even those whose images have been selected for exhibition, they are also going to get some goodies and other stuff.
Right. So good day for people who are attending this session. Good learning experience for them, and absolutely marvelous experience for people who are going to win the contest. So we have Mona Singh here amongst our first finalist from New Delhi, India, and this is the image captioned as Fangirl. And I also saw this image in the virtual exhibition displayed by Mukeshji, by Cheese, and pretty nice image, I believe. So congratulations for being the finalist, Mona Singh. Let's move on to our next finalist. We have Mr. Santosh Kale from Kolhapur, India. This is again a brilliant example of long exposure, as I see, in a very unconventional manner. Normally people go for long exposure on waterfalls and star trails and clouds, but this is a very unique perspective, I would say, and the image is captioned as The Crowd.
No, add them to Zoom.
And now we have Mr. Haribabu Bireli, if I am pronouncing his surname right, my apologies. So Haribabu image has been captioned as face painting, and the highlight of the image is of course the expression and that colorful face.
Sorry.
Mukeshji, you want to add something? Yeah. Hello. Yeah, Mukeshji.
There are 10 images first, top finalists, and then we have winner at the last. So these are the
I'm going. Yeah, that's what I said. These are the finalists, not the winners. Right. So just to keep the record straight. Right. So now we have Miss Koel Das from Toronto, Canada, as an image. Perfect example of illusion on the street, and कोई caption नहीं दिया है, but image itself tells a story. It's pretty nice. So congratulations again, Koel, for being the finalist. Yeah, it's a big thing to out of 5,000 images, you guys are among the top 10. So it's a big thing. So now we have Isanul Aranya, if I'm not wrong, from Bangladesh. Ehsanul Aranya, if I'm not wrong, if I'm pronouncing it as, my apologies, Ehsanul. So caption is wheels around us. Of course, perfect example of street photography. Uh, I always believe street photography is not just about capturing the headshots and the portraits of the people at the street. If you manage to somehow capture the environment also and click a nice, decent environmental portrait, which can tell a story, nothing like it. And Ehsanul, you have done a fabulous job in doing that. And then we have Sujan Sarkar from Cooch Behar, India, if I'm not wrong. And the image is captioned as the seller. And as you can see the pattern of these baskets, of course, the face is not visible, but if you see the cap he's wearing is almost identical to what we are seeing in terms of pattern. So perfectly captured, Sujan. Congratulations for being the top finalist. Venkat Sundar Rao, congratulations from Vijayawada, India. Caption is uplifting awareness. And I think in these times, this image is one of the perfect example of how to tell a story of what has happened in the past couple of months. And I believe the guy who's painting this particular painting has been portrayed really well in his environment. And I'm sure this guy must be painting a lot of advertisement and brand campaigns on the walls, and now he's painting like this, which he could have never thought about it. But again, nicely captured by Venkat Sundar Rao. Congratulations for being the top 10 finalist. And we have Pranab Basak from Kolkata, India. Nice image, of course, has no caption, but again, it doesn't need any caption. Nice, colorful image telling a nice story about a region. And I quite like the colors, especially the aqua color and the colorful saris and whatever costume these ladies are wearing. Perfectly captured by Pranab Basak. Congratulations, Pranab, on being the top 10 contestant. And we have Yogendra Joshi ji from Pune, India. Butterflies visit Azgaban.
Yeah.
Is it in Pune, this location? I've never been to. Is it a painting?
This is again a chemical under microscope.
Oh, marvelous. See, people, if you are watching this, this is what I call passion and innovation blended together. So, this is a perfect, if a good photograph is something which raises eyebrows and forces you to ask questions, and this is what this picture is doing. I've thrown so many questions at Mukesh ji, right? Mukesh ji, is it India, or is it like a painting, or is it like butterflies? Really, they are butterflies? There are so many questions that pop out looking at this image. Nicely done by Yogendra Joshi. Nice. Congratulations. This is a chemical actually shot through a microscope. Awesome. Brilliant. I should try that. Though I don't have a microscope, but you can. I should ask THC guys even to rent out microscopes, right, through that app.
Grant is there for that.
Yeah, Grant is there.
That's possible, sir.
That's possible. That's possible. Okay, microscopes are possible. That's what one of the team members from THC is saying. You can rent out my microscope if you want to do chemical.
First of all, we need to understand the technique also. So maybe we can have a webinar just to understand how the things. It's very fascinating.
Yes.
Very quite like you feel like learning it and doing it on your own. So I think
you can actually someday invite Yogendra Joshi to
do a small session.
For a live session. This guy is doing a fabulous job.
He is in Zoom call right now. I just messaged him. So we can have a little question with him.
Yeah. So
please raise your hand. We will unmute you.
So what I'll do is, meanwhile, I'll go to Mr. Tanveer Alam's picture. Oh, now for 1 second, I also started gazing at as if this is also a chemical.
Absolutely, yes.
So, see, people are doing so fabulous job. Nobody would have thought that image from top can be shot like this. Also, I am really fascinated, and this is harvesting water lily. Awesome. I believe that black is all water. Taken from a top. Awesome, brilliant, fabulous, and that the icing on the cake is those blue and yellow hat. Basically, is making the entire stuff stand out completely. Tanveer Alam, you've done a fabulous job. I believe Mukherjee, you should call people like these to do sessions for you, not like me.
We have Yogendra here, and please ask your questions.
Okay, Yogendra is here.
Yeah.
Yogendra, can you listen to me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations for being on the top 10.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, and we have close to 100 participants right now. All of them are listening to you. And we would like to know how you came up with this idea. Of course, we don't want to know the process as of now, because we would love to probably coordinate with Cheese and THC and bring you someday on a live session to discuss the process. But what compelled you to take these kind of pictures? You must have seen something for the first time which provoked you to take these pictures, right? So share your idea.
Sure. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Right. Can you hear me?
Yes. All of us can.
Sure. So I have been doing macro photography for over 10 years now and teaching macro photography as well. So I have been looking at a lot of macro work, and I stumbled upon something in Nikon's microscopic photography. They call it small world. And obviously I never used a microscope. So I saw a few people use chemicals, and just using very few chemicals. Let's say vitamin C and L-glutamine and stuff like that. So that's what triggered me, and literally this happened in this February. So in Pune, we were I'm part of the Pune photographers at Pune, and we were having an exhibition. So I had a lot of time because we were conducting the exhibition. So I had a lot of time there while waiting for participants and other things. So I was scrolling, I saw one photo and I said, okay, I want to see if I can create it. And almost everyone who saw that challenged me that, no, Yogendra, this is not for you. This is for scientists, because this is the kind of photography which scientists do, not photographers. So that's what triggered, and I did some research, and initially I actually cobbled up an equipment which is like, it's a 2-foot long equipment where I attached everything that I had: a macro lens, bellows, adapters, a high-end Renox, and even a 50 mm reverse to get up to, let's say, 10x magnification. And then eventually I moved on to a proper microscope, and I'm just trying everything. So this particular one is a combination of a decalcifier. So there are liquids which are available to clean your coffee pots. They are made up of some chemicals. Basically, there is calcification and you need to remove it. And I actually use that.
That's nice. And Yogen, do you have any experience of chemistry? Just for my knowledge. I mean, do you know the subject? Yeah. No.
You will laugh at me.
What's your qualification? What's your qualification?
I'm a chartered accountant by education.
See, I knew it actually. You don't.
And I am I'm a product manager. I work with a prestigious organization for last 19 years as a product manager, and I basically work in innovation. So I have 3 patents in software on my name.
Nice.
So my interest is creating something unique, and going beyond where people have stopped. So right now I'm working with 50 chemicals, and I'm actually collaborating with a few scientists within and outside India in just a period of last few months. And a kind scientist actually sent me a batch of 30 small samples of chemicals just to try. That's what. So if you go on my Facebook or Insta, you will see I'm actually exploring only the 5th new chemical which someone has sent me. So I'm
Share
actually
your, just spell your Insta page. I will be your first follower.
sure. It is Yogendra Joshi 1.
Yogendra Joshi 1, right?
1, yeah.
Yeah, nice. So that's nice.
Perfect. Yeah. So it's been a passion to do something new, and I want to establish this particular photography as an art in itself, and I want these chemicals to be more predictable in terms of mixture. So this particular thing is a mixture of uh, a decalcifier and an amino acid called inositol. So I just keep mixing, and I've also devised a new technique which no crystallographer has tried yet, which is cooking these on a slide inside a microscope, inside a microwave. So I put these chemicals on a slide on inside a airtight container, put that in a microwave, heat it, take it out, let it cool, and then I photograph them.
Yes, a lot of efforts, Yogendra, a lot of efforts.
Yeah, and
Very much. I am
sure,
very much fascinated by your passion
thanks a
and
lot.
efforts. Yeah.
And see, the real beauty is seeing how these things are made.
Right.
So
right. I'm sure.
So being able to act. So I've actually devised a new technique because these crystals sometimes form in seconds. So I've devised a new technique so that I can photograph these things while forming, and I've created 14 videos of these various things forming on the slide. So that is also getting a lot of traction. People are liking it because people never see
I'm
these
sure.
things
I'm
in
sure.
nature. Yeah.
I'm sure. See, that's
Thanks.
what I always, say this in a lot of live sessioning, even past when pre-COVID workshops we used to do that. Of course, it is important as a beginner to photograph everything, whatever comes your way, whatever interests you, be it portrait, wildlife, landscape, nature, street, so that you get a hang of everything. You can clear your concepts, you can clear your basics, but eventually it's the niche that gives you that identity. Okay, so I won't say this specialization. I will say that Yogendra has created his own niche, and now he's doing pretty good at it. I am sure if I got stunned by looking at this image, I'm sure there will be millions of people who would like to appreciate his images and his work. So it is very important to try out your hand in photography, in every genre of photography, so that at least you get a fairly good idea in what field you are interested in, and then eventually you can try something new, create your own niche, and make your own identity into it. That's very important. Good work, Yogendra, and
Thanks,
congratulations for being on the top 10. Yeah.
Hey, so Abhishek, I have one question for you. Can you guess the size of this?
See now,
the actual size of this.
Now you trying to embarrass me, right? In front
No,
of
not
100
really.
people. Yeah.
Not really. No,
So
no,
what's the size? I doubt it is not
this
even
is
few mm's. Yeah, it's not
yeah.
even
This is
mm's.
yeah. This is 2 millimeter into, so 2 millimeter by 1 millimeter space.
Fabulous,
it,
fabulous.
it is very interesting. So I
Fabulous
welcome
work.
everyone. So I welcome everyone. In fact, I'm happy to teach anyone who's interested to take the videos and photos like this even on a mobile phone.
Oh,
Brilliant.
awesome.
I'm
Great.
your student.
So we all are
Most
there.
welcome, sir. Most welcome. We can do
Nice.
something.
Nice.
Brilliant feed, Yogendra. Your feed is so
Mukeshji,
colorful.
Mukeshji, you take the lead and do something for us to learn this technique.
Absolutely, the session is on. In fact, interesting thing is when he had submitted the images, we had rejected initially because that we don't accept the photos of some paintings. And then I got to doubt. I
Looks like a
called him
painting.
immediately, and then he
And that's
said,
the biggest compliment. See, that's the biggest compliment I've ever received.
No, no, I'm sure, Yogendra, you have a very bright future as a photographer, and you are doing pretty well.
Crystal,
And
that's a new term, like crystal.
yeah, you're doing doing pretty well, and I think you these kind of things are, even from business standpoint also, these kind of pictures have a huge market, I would say. So stick on to it. I believe you have created your own niche and identity, and I'm sure you have inspired other who are watching this session right now to think out of the box, think something creative, and be passionate about that. Very nice. Keep it up. So I will now move on to, I think, Tanveer Alam's image. Again, I've already told you, this is again a fascinating image, and congratulations, Tanveer. Then honorable mentions. Uh, these are the photographers who have been incorporated in our honorable mentions. Our panelists have really liked their images. Mr. Udayan Sankar Pal, Udayan Sankar Pal from Chennai. And again, a very nice, I would say, environmental portrait of these people in their typical religious attire. I am sure this is a kind of ceremony or something religious ceremony which they normally do.
Kulusai Dasara festival.
Yes, Aja, you guys have also done a workshop there, I believe.
So this image is from our workshop only.
Nice, nice, pretty nice. Yeah. So congratulations, Udayan. Then we have Devarati Bhattacharya from Kolkata, India. Embracing the flames is the caption of the image. And as you can see, this is a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. I would put this image into travel as well as, kind of environmental portrait, but fabulously captured. The timing is so perfect. I don't think so they must have done any kind of retake for him. So this is again a nice image, brilliantly captured. Then we have Himail Abir from Rajshahi, Bangladesh. Again, life is river and fishing is the caption of the image. Nicely captured. Very, I would say the image is very minimalistic, not a lot of elements into it, but yet looks very elegant and very well composed. That's what my idea is. So Himil Abir, congratulations for being nominated. And then we have Nabarun Majumdar from Kolkata, India. Oh, at first instance, I thought that's a bulb or something. It's a moon. Nice. So lunar eclipse with the Buddha in the foreground and background, the lunar eclipse, fabulously captured. Nice. Congratulations. Then we have Sauranath, Kolkata, India. Again, a nice, I would say, portrait. Kind of low key, but nicely captured, I would say. Very nice. Congratulations, Sauranath. Then we have Kushal Sharma. Again, optical illusion created by the photographer. So I believe there are two of them. What are these? These are black bucks?
Yeah.
Or black bucks, right? Yeah. So seems it's somewhere in Gujarat, something like that, right? But nicely captured. The illusion makes them look one, but when you look at the legs, then you realize that it's not one. Nice. So coming to second runner-up of the contest, yes.
One part which was missing that people are asking, what's the prizes? So let me announce what all the prizes are going to be. So for coffee table book, the winner will get Godox RX, one tripod, one Lee Cooper bag, 1,000 rupees gift voucher from Future Forward. The second will get one headphone, one Lee Cooper bag, and 1,000 rupees gift voucher. The third one will also receive a headphone and 1,000 rupees gift voucher. Then they will also get 3 years, 2 years, and 1 year subscriptions to Cheese Magazine as well. Coming on to the grant, like this is already discussed. Coming on to this winners, which you are going to decide now. All the finalists will receive one wireless headphone plus 1,000 rupees gift voucher plus 1 year subscription from Cheese Magazine. All the top 10.
Nice.
Second runner-up, which is the third position, will get Godox ZP1, that is ZP1. Second runner-up will get Vanguard tripod, which is VO Select 47BF, Bravo Foxtrot. And winner, I guess everyone is aware, that will get Nikon Z50 mirrorless camera. So please continue.
Yeah, so I'm sure all the participants are pretty much clear what they are going to get, but it's not about the prize. I would say, Mukeshji, it is more about getting acknowledged here, getting recognized here, which was not the case when I used to do photography or I started doing photography. Now it's actually too late for me to participate in contest. So, and looking at the images, I don't think so I would be ever able to win a contest. Any which ways. Fine. So second runner-up is Sujan Sarkar from Kuch, Bihar, India. Sujan,
he's here in
congratulations.
Sujan,
Congratulations. Is he here? Or we can get him
Sujan,
later.
if you're there, raise your hand. We will unmute you. He was supposed to be there actually. So
no issues. So congratulations to him. And runner-up we have for the contest Venkat Sundar Rao from Vijayawada, India. Congratulations, Venkat. Really nice image, uplifting awareness, and actually compliment. Compliment is a wrong word, but I actually go with the flow of the current situation. So congratulations.
Hello, sorry, Mukesh sir. Mukesh sir.
Yeah.
Sir, there is a connectivity issue with Sujan Sarkar, but he wants to talk over phone. Can I connect?
I guess yes. Please.
Yeah. Sujan, you can talk about your prize. You are the second runner-up of this event. Yeah.
Second runner-up. Thank you very much. मेरा जो सेलर जो है वो मैंने बांग्लादेश पे दिया हुआ था मेरा जो पिक्चर, तो मैं जो लोकल जो मार्केट है ना उसमें वो लोग वो सेल करते हैं, तो भी लिया मैंने वो, तो और खुद से
Sir,
That's nice,
can you hear him?
Yes, yes.
Got it.
He shot this image. For people who didn't understand, he shot this image in Bangladesh in a local market, and that's what he was telling us. So Sujan Sarkar, congratulations once again, and I believe you'll enjoy your prize, right?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the connecting actually with the Zoom app. Sorry.
Yeah, credit all
Okay,
goes
sir.
to THC and Cheese. Yeah, thank you. So we have again Venkat Sundar Rao, runner-up from Vijayawada, India. Is he there?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we connect to him?
Hello. Thank you very much. Hello, I'm here.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
So would you like to say something, sir, about the image? आपने कैसे लिया? बस brief में थोड़ा.
Yes, while passing through the main road, I was aware that painters are working on this COVID situation.
Okay.
They are lifting the their expressions on the eyes of the painting. Painting it inspired me, and I stopped and took the camera. But I always carry my camera with me, sir, whenever I go out.
That's nice, Venkat Sudaraw. This is a fabulous, colorful, nice image and has a lot of message into it. And tell me one thing on a lighter note, when you stopped, were you wearing a mask or not?
Yeah.
You were wearing mask when you shot this image?
Now also I am wearing masks, sir. Whenever
Oh, awesome. Awesome, great. Great,
and
great.
These two. I'm following these two.
Nice, nice. Congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So now let us announce the winner of this contest, and the winner is Ehsanul Aranya, if I'm not wrong, from Bangladesh, right? Ehsanul is here with us. So, am I pronouncing your name right?
Sir, Ehsanul Siddiq Oronno. Oronno means forest. It means...
Oronno.
Yes, sir. Oronno.
Forest. Yeah. So, Forest, tell me about the image.
Okay, sir. At first, thank you so much. Thank you. It's great to be a part of this event, and I am the winner. I was not thinking that I was be up top of the finalist. So it's great to be a winner of this mega event. I like to thank the honorable panelists, all the organizers, Cheese Magazine, and the House of Camera. I'm so much excited, and I like to add something for some story behind the images. So as I am from Bangladesh, this photo was taken from old Dhaka, the old part of Dhaka, which is the capital of Bangladesh, and it was a holiday. So every workers who run the wheels, they put these vans for kept, and they were enjoying their holiday. But one man who is old enough, and he is running his own wheel. So I wanted to show the people that you have to run your own wheels, even if when everything is in a standstill. So at first I showed a connection here between the wheels, and as well as I wanted to show a contrast between the stand wheels and the running wheels. So thank you so much. And the color, which is pink, and the brownish part of his beard, that is popping up of my eyes. So I found it interesting and clicked here. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Mukesh ji, Abhishek ji. Thank you, the panelists. I am so much glad that I am the winner. Really, I can't believe it. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Pray
you.
for me, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ehsanul. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, sir.
It was
Thank you so much, sir.
lovely listening to your side of story of the image. The image is really nice.
Thank you, sir. Pray for me, sir.
I think panelists also have done a fabulous job. Cheese has done a fabulous job. THC has done a fabulous job in conducting this particular contest. So congratulations to all the winners. And at last, Ravi ji, I think we are done with most of the formalities, Mukesh ji, right?
Ji. And
okay.
Just, Ravi sir, before that, just one small note here. So we were also not aware about the winner. So during this call, thank you to my team that they got all the winners, like called them and got them on call, because the result was given, I think 10-15 minutes before this started. So we had created the PPT. We did not have anything on that PPT, and on the fly team created the PPT, and we called them that, hey, you are the winner. So we ourselves were not aware. And I'm sure the way it is judged by Aditya sir and all you guys, like all the panelists, we have put all the data in the market. All the data is publicly available. People can definitely see and appreciate the winners. So, and like I guess that's the beauty of this event, especially, great thanks to all panelists, and especially from THC. So please continue, sir. Ravi sir.
I think I'm totally amazed by looking at the images, so beautifully captured, truly inspiring, and Congratulations to all the winners. And Cheese team has done a commendable job. I think you curated the whole contest very well, and the way presentation went off. Abhishek, hats off to you.
Thank
Shahid
you.
sir, thank you so much for your contribution, for your inputs here also. I am glad that I was part of this whole exercise, and it's an honor for me. So best wishes to everyone, and look forward to more such events, which keeps, as I'm going to repeat the word again, creative juices. These are the kind of images which makes your creative juices start flowing, and you feel inspired, and you feel like picking up the camera and going out again and shooting. So my best wishes again to all of you.
Thank you, Ravi, for those concluding words. Shahid, would you like to add something at the end?
I think I'll echo the feelings of everybody around, looking at some brilliant work, and the whole quality of not only the pictures, but I'm so impressed, Mukesh ji, with the virtual exhibition. You know, it feels like we are walking through international level installation. You know, curation is absolutely brilliant. You know, the way these are themed together and presented, and the whole event, the way it is gone. Abhishek, you've done a brilliant job, and so happy to meet all of you. Looking forward to many more of such events and meetings.
Thank you, Shahid. Thank you for the appreciation. And once again, Mukesh ji, thank you to Cheese. Thank you to the House of Camera for conducting this particular live session and the contest and the grant, which probably I don't see any other brand doing it as of now, because किसी के पास पैसे नहीं है करने के लिए, but we are doing it. So I think जिनको भी grant मिला है, they should really utilize that grant to its fullest. जो भी winners है, they should cherish their achievement, because I think THC और चीज ने मिलके जो ये tension वाला भी time चल रहा है, इसमें थोड़ा सा we have tried to induce some happiness within the photography community, and I believe we'll keep on doing it. So I think I'll end this session now, Mukesh ji, right?
Yes. So thank you very much, everyone. And
thank
guys,
you.
One thing, I'll be there on call because there are some questions coming up after this event. Just stay here in the call. If you are a winner or if you have any question about exhibition, I would be happy to clarify that. And thank you very much for the panelists. I guess that looking at the images, no one can have a doubt, you know, how much difficult it would have been for all the panelists, judges to, you know, come up with a couple of images, you know, 10 images out of 5,000. So that's really, and you know, these are around 5,500 are from the contest. There had been images in the grant also. We have also gone through to see that, you know, if anything, any hidden gem is there, you know. So it's almost around 9,000 images which we have to go through that, and it was amazing experience for us also. Thank you for my team, especially they've been working for day and night for a couple of days to make it happen. And Abhishek sir and Ravi sir, Sai sir, like, thank you very much. And congratulations to all winners. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.